Hi, I'm Helen V. Hicks, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of What Would Helen Say? In this couples episode, meta emotions. Instead of going into the stress reducing conversation like I thought we were going to do last time, in speaking with the couple in between sessions, they felt that going in this direction was more of a necessity. So, what are meta emotions? Meta emotions is basically how we feel about our feelings. And everybody doesn't feel the same way about them. So, in this episode, I ask each partner a series of questions related to the emotion sadness, how they experience it, how it showed up in their life in the past, how they're experiencing it currently, what they do when they experience it, and you start to see how our own perception of emotions can have an effect on our relationships with other people. Once again, if you like the work that I'm doing and you'd like to support it, or if you're interested in accessing premium content and how you can apply these skills to your own life and start your therapeutic journey, please click on the Patreon link below for more information. Thank you. All right. So, how are you guys doing today?
Are you still
We're fine today. I'm fine. Are you good?
great?
Awesome. So, we are going to start with one of the Gottman exercises, which is the meta emotions interview. And so, this is lots and lots of questions that I'm going to ask you guys, and it's going to relate to five categories of emotions, which is like anger, sadness, fear, love, and pride. And we're going to connect how you experienced it in the past, in your childhood, how your family kind of dealt with these types of emotions, and then how you're dealing with it now. So,
Um,
so it's a long interview process. We definitely will not get through all of it today, but the point of it is for both of you to have a level of understanding of how these emotions have showed up historically in your life, how they've showed up
Mhm.
in your partner's life, and the areas in which you guys may be bumping heads because you've had very different experiences with these
Right.
emotions. Okay? So, who wants to answer first?
ladies first.
Of course.
Nah, I go first.
Chivalrous and not. Okay.
I go. I go first.
All
All
right, cool. So we're starting off with sadness. Um, what was your experience with sadness when you were growing up?
Um, growing up, like on what ages are we talking about?
I'm looking at anything under the age of 18.
Under 18, sadness. Um, she might not believe me, but um, I really didn't have a sad childhood. Like I really don't know. I don't. I really didn't have that growing up.
So wait. I cannot believe that as a child you never felt sad about
And this is
anything.
what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking
No,
about
I'm
right
really
here. Like
like
it'll be
I'm
something
really being
so
honest.
simple. It doesn't matter. We're not saying that somebody like punched you in your face and made you sad. It could be something so simple. You fell, you lost something, you couldn't get something. Obviously you would get sad as a kid. If your kid says that she wants a blue toy and you go and buy a purple one, her first reaction will be to be sad. It's little stuff. It's not anything big, like you overthinking it.
All right, well, whatever I didn't get, I did with my godfather, and my godfather got it.
Yeah, that's it. We're done.
Seriously, like I don't like
I'm cool.
I
I'm
really
cool.
I really didn't experienced that.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So, one, I'm trying to see if I can take something away from this. Are you saying that if you did feel sad, that you could just tell somebody that you were sad about it and they would go and fix it?
Yes,
Okay. So that is your experience of sadness, that you felt like you could always escape it.
yes.
Okay. Sorry, just trying to write this down.
Mhm.
Okay. So can you identify anything at all that did make you feel sad? Whether, like you said, if you didn't get something, then you could tell somebody. So, like, not getting certain things made you sad?
Yeah, like if I couldn't get, let me see, if I couldn't get a new pair of sneakers, then I did go to my godfather and my godfather buy it for me, so he fixed my sadness.
I don't like your responses. I'm sorry, I don't. I try
I'm
to
not, I'm
stay
not,
quiet,
I'm
but
not
I
talking to you. I'm
really,
talking. She asked me a question and I answered it.
Okay. So
Mhm.
you said your godfather would get this for you. So did he just blanketly get you everything you ever wanted?
Honestly and truthfully,
Hmm.
yeah. You
Okay.
laughing? I'm serious.
So that was your godfather, though. What about who you were raised by? I don't know if it was your parents or if it was, grandparents or what
Yeah.
that situation.
I was raised by my mother,
Okay.
and she always provided for me. But if for some reason she couldn't give me something, I would just call my godfather.
Okay. So then let's stick in the first half.
All
So
right.
in your interactions with your mom, if you wanted something and she wasn't able to, so that period of time in between your mom saying she can't, she won't, whatever, and then being able to reach out to your godfather, what was that like for you?
Um, a little bit of disappointment because I was hoping that my mother would buy it for me first. So then I had to extend and I had to go out and ask someone else.
Okay. So there was a sense of disappointment that your mom wasn't able to get you those things.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that time frame, when you were feeling that disappointment, like what did you do with that feeling? Did you cry? Did you get angry even because you're disappointed and you're upset about it? Did you talk to anybody about it, or did you just straight go to your godfather and say, hey, fix this?
Um, I wasn't like sad crying. It was almost so just like I was just disappointed. It was just like a little like a feeling like, oh man, I wish my mother could actually do this for me. And then it was like I just said, but I mean she can't do it right now, so I just took the phone and called my boss.
Okay. So I find this interesting so far. I mean, we're just starting. There's like a ton of questions left. But so far, what I'm finding interesting about this is that it already seems like your go to is not to sit with any of those uncomfortable feelings, but to immediately find a resolution to not feel that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have to ask this question. I have to ask this question. Um,
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
well, actually, it's for her. So, B, do you feel that that's the level of interaction that you get from him often. If you express feeling a certain type of way, he's just boom, solution. Don't
Yep.
feel that way.
Yep. I literally say this to him probably like 8 times out of 10, where I'm just like, you're not even listening to what I'm saying. You just automatically just throwing something else. Like, did you hear what I said at all? I'm not saying that you gotta like sit here and like wipe my tears or cry with me, but like you are literally just not listening. I can literally say like, oh well, my day was terrible today. This, and he's like, okay, go to sleep. Okay, take a nap. Okay, that's enough. Like, are you gonna listen at any point to what I'm saying or what?
Okay. So this is making sense that this is how he's interacting with you because this is what
Right,
he did for pretty much all his life.
right.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, back to you, Jay. So when you were feeling like this sadness, this disappointment, um, was your godfather the only person you approached with it? Was there anybody else that you shared how you were feeling and why?
Yes, I would either go to like my grandmother, but it was more so I knew for a fact that my godfather actually do it for me, rather than if I was to go to my grandmother, she'd probably give me a little speech, and I wasn't really trying to nail little speeches. I was just trying to get straight to the point. So like sometimes if it was uh, whatever, I would go to my grandmother. But if not, if I'm like in a rush, like I'm just trying to hurry up and get it solved, I would go to him.
Okay. So what was it like when you would go to your grandmother and you're in this position where you just want this issue solved and now you got to sit and listen to the speech first?
Um, I mean, I mean, I was, I was, I was real close to him, so I didn't mind the speech. It was more so the timing thing. Like if I didn't have time, I'm going straight to him. If I had time to like sit down and talk and all that, I would sit down with her. So like it was more so.
I feel like you only think of materialistic stuff, and it's really
No,
bothering
no, I'm not even trying to think. Like no matter what it was, if I didn't have time, it was like I would go to him. If it was something deep, like I would like I was feeling a certain way, I would go to my grandma,
me. That was the whole point of the question.
and I'm answering the question for her.
Okay. So if there's something deep, then you would go to grandma. So
Yeah.
what kind of qualified as something deep?
Um, what you ask me? Let me see. Something deep growing up, it'd be like.
So why would you even say that?
No,
Okay,
I'm just saying, if
I
it was
cannot.
something deep, like if it was regarding school, or if it was, let me see, what else is deep to me? I don't know, no, I'm trying to think. Cause I was never sad. It just like if it was deep growing up, it'd probably be like something to do with my father or something. And then I was with my grandmother.
Okay. So were there ever times that you needed to be comforted?
Yeah,
Okay. So who would you go to when you needed comfort?
my grandmother or my mother.
And how would they comfort you?
Um, this long talks basically telling me that this long talks. I'm trying to think. Mm. it's like everything would be okay speeches though. Like don't make the mistakes that put me that got me feeling disappointed or sad or whatever the case is.
Okay. So, in these talks, did you guys ever discuss how you were feeling?
Mm, some of the time, yeah.
Okay. And how did they address your feelings?
It was more so like they would they would they would tell me like I got basically it'd be like for instance if it was a situation with my father, right? I hear come around, then he'll just leave again and pop in and out again. So it basically more so like them telling me that I got I got who I need around me full time that's gonna always love me and always gonna give me whatever I need or just love me period. So I don't even worry about that. They just show me love.
Okay. So, since we're talking about sadness, it just makes me wonder, was that a source of sadness for you that your father wasn't involved?
It wasn't a source of sadness. It was more so disappointment and confusion. I was never really sad. It was just like it's just like why he could just come 1 week and expect us to be the best of friends and then he'll just disappear for a month or whatever, or go to jail or do whatever and then go without saying nothing to me, then come back and like think everything is great.
No. Okay. So, so we say you were confused and disappointed in the relationship with your dad because he was in and out. And then when he did come back, he just seemed to have this expectation that everything was cool and you guys should be on
Yeah,
terms or whatever.
yeah,
Okay. So I'm not going to ask more about that because I think that may lead into a different feeling, and we're kind of trying to stay with sadness. Um, so, how did your mom and your grandma deal with their sadness? Like, did you ever see them sad?
mm. Honestly, they put on a great act because I never saw them sad. It was more so loving with them. I never seen them really like sad.
Okay. So, I imagine as you grew up, there's different, life experiences that took place. They never let on, even if it was like stress or, they were disappointed about something.
The only time I see my mother really like that was actually when my grandmother passed.
So tell me, how did you see your mom dealing with that sadness over the loss of your grandmother?
Um, she was more so it was more so like she had to be the strong one, but like she's the youngest of her brothers and sisters, but it was more so she had to be the strong one. It's like it's like my grandmother told her like she got to be the strong one to make sure the other's not broken or weak.
Mm. So for you, does that mean sadness equals being weak?
Honestly, yes.
Okay. So are you an only child or do you have any siblings?
No, I have two brothers and a sister. They all younger than me.
Okay. So did you ever see your siblings sad?
Mm, that's just that. I see I see the brother that's under me. I see him sad. He was like dealing with his own problems, like going to jail or with his father. He had his own
But like, what did you observe when he was sad? Like, how did he behave? Were there certain things that he said or did?
issues. He started he started getting in more trouble, and he started realizing he started realizing as time went on that he could actually come to me when he's sad, so I could help out with him. But before he was kind of to the streets. He'd go outside, or he'd do some street nonsense that's gonna get him in trouble.
Okay. So for your younger brother, if he was sad, first he would turn to the streets, I guess expressing some of that sadness somehow. And then eventually you said he started talking to you.
Yes, he started talking more to me after he came home. I guess he realized he was jail or whatever. Like I'm here to help him. I'm not here to judge him or judge the case for
So what was it like for you to talk to him, seeing him being sad and him feeling, down or whatever?
it was like for me. I want to say it wasn't hard talking to him. It just was difficult because I told him something and he won't even listen. So it's like I was just wasting my time talking
So it's like you felt frustrated.
to him.
So did you feel like there was even a point to talk to him when he was feeling sad or down?
Yeah. Um, they got to a point where though I'm wasting my time.
Mhm.
And, it was like I was wasting my time talking to him. I felt as though it was pointless to even keep on talking to him and he not listening. So I told him I'm like you gonna realize that everything I told you was right.
Okay. So for you, if somebody comes to you feeling emotional about whatever, you want to feel like they're listening to you, that what you're sharing with them isn't like going to fall on deaf ears, that they're really going to apply the things that you're trying to share with them.
Yeah.
So, in a sense, you want to feel helpful.
Yeah.
So, did you ever see your father sad?
Growing up, well, same thing. I rarely saw him, so I never saw no sadness with him. It was like I said earlier. Every time he come around, they try to smile with me, laugh, and try to be my best friend, give me money, whatever the case is. But I never really like saw enough emotions out of him, or enough like I never seen nothing really from him growing up.
So, how did your mother respond to your brother's sadness or any of your siblings' sadness?
Um, Same thing. It was like just trying to trying to talk to them, trying to let them know that everything will be alright. It was more so. It was more so. She just tried to get them extra love when they were feeling sad. How about they was feeling?
So, you said she would try to give him extra love. Like, what did that look like?
I want to say it was more like just materialistic things, or actually like taking us somewhere to have fun, it was like a regular parent. It was like she's just trying to just show us that she got us no matter what. So when we're feeling sad or whatever, she just try to take us all out, take us to eat, buy us things.
Okay. So, what I'm really hearing is that anytime anybody was expressing any type of sadness, your family's way of dealing with it was, let's hurry up and get rid of this. Let me give you something, let me take you somewhere, let me distract you somehow so that you're not experiencing this sadness.
Yeah, it was that, and they also talk until we started get a better understanding of why. It wasn't never just let me go find him something real fast.
That's what you just said
Set
though.
him up. No. If you all want that talk to you, that take you out, that buy you something, but it never was just on one thing.
So it was a mix of things, but what you've expressed even with talking was, the talking was, hey, everything's going to be okay. So it was always about feel better, feel better, feel better.
Yeah.
Okay. So nobody ever really just sat with it.
No.
Okay. Anything else that you can anything else you can think of in regards to how sadness was dealt with while you were growing up?
Mm, trying to think. That gotta be about it. It's like you more so. I want to say my family. They like based on love. So they like they like to come around each other a lot. So like if somebody if it's something sad, the family are all like come together and laugh, joke about stuff, and like whatever we was feeling is gone.
Okay. I'm not fully getting into this, but I'm just wondering, like, did anybody in your family ever have to resolve conflicts? Or did everybody just kind of sweep it under the rug and keep moving?
Resolve conflict and what sense? So it's like,
Well, people never get along 100% of the time.
oh no,
Somebody's always going to have a different perspective. They're always going to have different wants, different needs. So I imagine at some point in time, somebody had to be upset with someone else.
yeah, I
Like,
mean, we're like if somebody got an issue with something like that, it's like, I'm not trying to really like, I'm trying to think, probably like a little issue, a little fight or something. They're fighting, get it over with, or something like that. I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do me if it's an issue.
You know exactly what she mean. I feel like you doing
I'm
exactly
telling
what your
her,
family does, and that's the whole problem. That's why you need to answer these questions. The problem is anytime there's an issue, like this is an issue right now, y'all like to laugh y'all way out of it and then patch it up and be like, oh no, it's good now.
no, it's like
Or
I see people in my family, I seen
they'll argue, fight, sweep it under the rug, move on, and then the next week everybody talking about each other. But then, oh no, don't tell them I said it though. But then it's all quiet again. But it's still underlying issues. It's always an underlying issue. Nobody's family is perfect. That's not the thing. You looking at it in a negative aspect instead of just saying how you truly feel. It's not about them right now. It's about you.
I'm telling her, I'm not trying to be negative. A lot of stuff do get swept, it gets swept under the rug, but I'm telling her it is. That's what you said. It'd be they
That's not
talk
what
it
you
out
said.
or what.
You dancing around the topic
I'm
instead
not
of just
dancing on the
answering
topic.
it. Okay. I'll go back to
okay.
mind my business.
Right. Well, don't worry. Don't worry. We have lots and lots of questions. If we don't get into it today, there's plenty of opportunity to get into it next time.
hmm
So, okay, those are my questions for you right now in regards to that history of sadness. So, we're going to switch over and let me ask you, B, in regards to your history with sadness, and
hmm
get some more information. So, tell me about your experience growing up, so under 18, with sadness.
Um, there is no room for sadness. There's no such thing as being sad. You suck it up and move on. And you deal with it on your own time.
Okay. So, was anybody allowed to be sad?
Um, no, not really. I mean, for me, because I had like a different, I guess, like dynamic. So if I'm with like one side of the family, no, there is no room to be sad. If I'm with another side of the family, then yes, I can be sad. I can be nurtured and loved and stuff like that. So it's different.
Okay.
Um, and on the nurturing side, yeah, I would say like we all were. There's a lot of us, like so. There's a lot of us, like like one household type of thing. So um, yeah, you're sad, but we'll get over it eventually. But if it's the smallest things, my grandmother is like a real nurturing person. So, but on the other side, no, you can't be sad. It's like how they tell like little boys all the time, like just like man up kind of thing. That's basically what it is. They are like deep rooted Southern people, and there's no such thing as sadness.
Okay. So that also makes me wonder, like, with that side of the family, if you express sadness, was there then like a sense of punishment that came along with it?
Um, if you express it, it was more so like, what's your reason for being sad? Like, you don't know what sadness is. There's no reason for you to be sad. Um, Punishment, yes. If we're talking like super young, then yeah. Like, what are you crying for? And that whole thing, like, oh, I'm gonna give you something to cry about. They definitely gonna give you something to cry about.
So on that side, nobody ever made an attempt to understand what was causing you to feel sad. It was just an automatic, we don't have a good reason to feel this way, so stop it.
Right,
So then you're really, really triggered by Jay not making an attempt to understand because this is what you grew
right,
up with.
right.
Jay, did you hear that?
He hear it. He just looking. Like,
So this is part of the reason why we're going through this style of interview because a lot of times couples may unknowingly trigger each other.
right,
So when we bring this information to the table, then it allows you to utilize a different reaction and help each other to grow and to heal rather than constantly like poking the bear.
right,
So
right.
Jay, just to recap, Jay, is very, very, very important that you make an effort to understand what's causing her to feel sad instead of just wanting to hurry up and get her to feel better.
All right.
All right. Okay. So, can you remember what were some of the things that made you feel sad when you were younger?
Um, let's see. Um, for sure, like with my father, like in and out kind of things. But I don't know, our relationship's kind of weird, but he's cool. Like even when he wasn't around, he still tried to like make an effort to still like speak to me anytime that he could and things like that. So, and I feel like that's another reason why like that side of the family stepped up the way that they did. So that was kind of like a big help.
Okay.
It was like, missing him physically, but like mentally and emotionally, he was still around, kind of thing. Um, but I couldn't express that like on with my mom's side because it's just like, well, what you miss him for? He ain't really here. Like I do everything anyway, so you have no reason to miss him. Like I don't like him, so why do you? Kind of thing.
All right. So it's like you're not allowed to miss simply having a father.
Right.
Okay. So when you were sad, and I hear how other people reacted to you feeling sad, but what did you do for yourself when you were feeling sad?
Um, just sit there by myself. Like I guess go to my room and just sit there sad.
Did you allow yourself to cry?
Sometimes, but not all the time because then at a certain point it's just like it's tiring to just sit there and cry about it. Like for what? There's nothing's gonna happen.
So you kind of felt like crying about it was useless.
Yeah.
I think crying is a great way to
Mhm.
release the emotions, release the tension, the stress, all that kind of stuff. It no, it doesn't necessarily solve the problem, but it can help you just by being able to get some of that out.
Mhm.
So when you were with, your father's side of the family and they were the ones who allowed you to be sad, like who could you approach about it?
Um, my grandmother for sure, and I have three aunts there, so one of them that I used to talk to like the most, she would be, she's more like, I guess like she would listen more and like listen to whatever was going on. My grandmother's gonna always listen like 1,000%. So it's like listen, give advice, or try to help the way that she thought was best to help, or that she felt like she was allowed to help.
Okay. Was there any particular way that, they tried to comfort you that you liked better than other ways?
Um, with my grandmother, like something so simple as like her just like oh well, like she'll tell me like it's gonna be okay, but at the same time she'll allow me to express like whatever it was that I was feeling, and she would let me know like like whatever I was feeling was okay, like it's okay to feel that way, just allowing me to express myself freely. Um, like my grandmother was like way more loving. My grandmother actually gave hugs and said I love you and stuff like that. Like she does things like that. Um, I don't know. She's just like super super nurturing. Like taking a nap with her, like little things like that that I don't normally do on the other side.
Okay. So it
My
sounds
other
like,
two aunts, I would say, like they help,
hmm,
but their help was more, I guess, more like financial type of thing. Like they knew, like if I was ever lacking anything, they would just, like they would be like, okay, well, listen, you're not gonna be without. Like if you want it, or if you need it, that's just what it is. Like your mother, she's stupid. Don't worry about it. I got you. Like that was always their attitude. That's still their attitude. Like till this very day. That's just how they are. Like when it comes to me. So
okay. So it sounds like your grandmother especially made you feel safe.
yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, you kind of already gave me a taste of this, but just to reiterate, like, what was it like? Well, sorry. How did your mother respond to your sadness? Was it always just with yelling and, hitting, things of that nature?
Yeah. It was either that or it's like I would have to hide that I'm sad. Like I'm not gonna be sad in front of her because I already knew the outcome. So I'll just wait and hold it in and deal with it later by myself, I guess.
Now, did your mother ever express her own sadness?
Um, I want to say yeah, she did express her own sadness, but I don't want to invalidate how she feels, but I never agreed with like her being sad. Like she cries too much. She's victimized every situation. So it's like I never really know when it's a true emotion of her being sad. I sense more anger than sadness. Like I feel like she expresses her sadness with anger because that's how she knows how to deal with it in a way.
So it kind of seems like your mom's expression of sadness felt like a manipulation to you.
Yeah, because I've witnessed her manipulate a lot of things, and like even something super simple as like if she's one of those people if she wants something like she's gonna get it kind of thing. So it's like if it takes her to be like crying and you know, acting irrational. Like she's gonna do it, and then she'll wipe her tears and laugh about it right after. Like I've witnessed her do those types of things, so it's hard for me to really see her like sad. Like it's hard for me to believe her sadness.
Okay. So, what about with your grandmother? Did you ever see your grandmother sad?
Um, I feel that like I know my grandmother's sad. My grandmother, she's basically like the rock, so she tries to not be sad like in front of us. But it's like there's certain ones who know, like you know when she's sad, like her voice changes. You know, she looks actually sad. Like you can see it in her face and everything. Like I can tell when she's in pain. Like I can tell everything. But even with her being in pain because she's had like a couple of health issues recently, but she'll try to just mask it and be like, no, like I'm fine. I'm like you don't have to worry about me. Like worry about yourself. You got those babies over there, and don't worry about me. But I'm like, I can hear it in your voice. I can tell like her breathing sounds different, and I'm like, okay, like come on. So now I'm like a bit more on top of her. Like I'm not like seeing her as much in person, but I can like I video chat her like almost every day. Like just to check on her. But sadness, I've seen her cry like a couple of times growing up, but she tries not to, I guess, because she wants to be the person that like accepts like all the crying. Like she takes all the kids, like if anybody is sick, anytime I got sick, it's like go to your grandmother's house. Your grandmother's gonna fix it, and she will fix it. You need something like in that type of aspect, grandma's gonna fix it. Anybody sad, call your grandmother. Like that's just how it is. So I feel like she tries to like mask it a lot, but I can tell for sure.
Okay. So, has anyone allowed you to comfort them in their time of sadness?
Um, I feel like allowing me to comfort, I would probably say like my little cousins, maybe because I'm the oldest, so probably like little cousins, yeah, like they all come to me for everything. Friends, yeah, but family wise, no. Besides like my cousins, and I would normally try to do what I know, like what helped me. So I would like almost like act like my grandmother. Like I try to be as nurturing as I can when I see that somebody is sad.
Good. Sounds like there's some good lessons to take away from grandma.
Mhm.
Okay. What about with your sister? Was there any difference in how people responded to your sister's sadness versus yours?
I'm gonna try to say this the nicest way possible. My sister is my mother's child.
Okay.
So when it can be, if there's a fly, she's gonna cry and she's sad about it, and it's like, oh, you better go and catch that fly. If there's an ant, you better go and kill that ant. Like she will cry though. She's gonna cry. She cries over every little thing. She has done that like up until now. She still cries over every little thing, and she acts just like my mother. She'll wipe her tears and laugh about it, and she thinks it's funny.
Okay. So that's a huge shift where you weren't allowed to be sad and would be punished for being sad. And then
Hmm.
here, her sadness is 100% allowed to the point of manipulation. And then
Hmm.
you still have to be made responsible for, you need to go take care of what's making her sad.
Hmm.
Oh, Lord.
Exactly. So I feel that that's why I take on a lot when it comes to like I was telling you, like with friends or whoever it is. I can literally be like drowning in like a thousand things with my own thing going on, but I still feel the need to help them or fix, whatever they got going on too, because that's basically, how it is. So I'm like kind of already used to it, but I know that it's unhealthy, so I'm trying to break myself out of it, kind of thing.
Absolutely. So we come back to the whole self care and what's working for you and what you want or need in that moment, and not always having to stuff your own feelings about it and prioritize other people.
Right.
Okay. So those are all my questions about sadness and the history of it. And it's also our time for today.
Okay.
So, just to let you know, a heads up, with sadness, we also have to talk about how sadness shows up presently. And then we also get to talk about your opinion of how your partner is handling sadness.
Mm, okay.
So, I heard you chime in. So, just to let you know, those are the next pieces of sadness that are up and coming. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
You have time to prepare.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
starting now.
Okay, well, that is our time, and I will talk to you guys again next week.
Okay.
All right.
See you.
All right, bye bye. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of What Would Helen Say? Hopefully, you'll come back next week and hear more about the exploration of meta emotions. Next week, we'll explore a little bit more about sadness and then get into anger. Again, if you like what I'm doing and you'd like to support the work, or if you're interested in accessing premium content, please click on the link below for more information. Thank you.